Hey everyone, Neil deGrasse Tyson here. You know, we humans have always been obsessed with maps. They're how we make sense of our world, how we navigate the unknown. But before Google Maps and GPS satellites, maps were a lot more imaginative. Back then, uncharted territories weren't just blank spaces. They were canvases for myths, legends, and some pretty big geographical blunders. So, buckle up as we journey through history to uncover some of the most fascinating cartographic curiosities and outright fabrications. From phantom islands to misplaced continents, get ready to see the world as those before us imagined it. Now, any good map enthusiast knows the phrase terra incognita. It's Latin for unknown land, and it used to litter maps like cosmic dust across the universe. But here's the thing. Cartographers back then weren't always content with leaving things blank. They were like artists facing an empty canvas, compelled to fill it. So instead of empty spaces, we got sea monsters with tentacles longer than a pirate ship. Entire continents conjured from thin air and mythical creatures that would make Bigfoot blush. I mean, who needs evidence when you have a good quill and an active imagination, right? These fantastical additions weren't just decorative, though. They served as warnings, reflecting the very real fears of venturing into the unknown. After all, who'd want to sail straight into the gaping maw of a cartographic kraken? Off the west coast of Ireland, shrouded in mist and legend, lies the elusive island of Hy Brasil, or at least it did on maps for centuries. This phantom island was said to be visible only once every 7 years, a kind of celestial hide-and-seek champion. Now, you'd think, after the first few failed expeditions, people might get the hint. But Hy Brasil, much like the allure of a good mystery, persisted. It became a fixture in European nautical lore, fueled by tall tales and wishful thinking. Was it a genuine geographical anomaly, a trick of the light, or just a really good story that refused to die? We may never know for sure, but one thing's certain. Hy Brasil remains a testament to our enduring fascination with the unknown and the power of a good map to capture our imaginations. All right, picture this. It's the 16th century and you're a cartographer trying to make sense of the latest discoveries. Word reaches you of a land bathed in sunshine with golden shores and an abundance of natural wonders. You're thinking, this place sounds amazing. But where exactly does it fit on the map? Well, if you were a cartographer back then, you might just plop it down as an island off the coast of North America. That's right, for over a century, California was depicted as an island on maps. This wasn't some minor oversight, it was a full-blown cartographic misconception, fueled by early Spanish explorers, misinterpretations of coastal geography, and maybe a dash of wishful thinking. I mean, who wouldn't want California to be its own little slice of paradise? Chapter 4. The Mountains of Kong. Let's talk about mountains. Specifically a mountain range so massive, so imposing, that it existed only on maps. I'm talking about the Mountains of Kong, a colossal fabrication that graced maps of West Africa from the late 18th through the 19th century. This mythical mountain range, stretching from Guinea to Nigeria, was the brainchild of imagination, fueled by speculation and a lack of accurate geographical data. It was as if someone looked at a blank spot on the map and said, you know what this needs? A mountain range, a really, really big one. And just like that, the Mountains of Kong were born. They became a fixture in geographical thought, influencing exploration and shaping perceptions of the African continent. It wasn't until later expeditions ventured into the region that the truth became clear. The mountains were a phantom, a geographical mirage. Chapter 5. Sea Monsters and Scary Beasts. Now we're going to dive into the deep end of cartographic creativity's sea monsters. Early nautical maps were teeming with them. Giant krakens wrapping their tentacles around ships, serpentine sea monsters with gaping maws, lobsters the size of small cars, you name it, they probably drew it. Take the Carta Marina, a 16th century map so detailed it makes my astrophysics charts look like doodles. It's a veritable who's who of terrifying sea creatures. But these weren't just whimsical flourishes. They served a purpose. These monsters were cautionary tales, vivid reminders of the very real dangers that lurked beneath the waves. They embodied the fears of sailors who braved treacherous voyages into the unknown. It was a way of saying, hey, out there in the vast ocean, anything is possible, so be careful. Chapter 6. The Northwest Passage and Other Imaginary Shortcuts. For centuries, European explorers were obsessed with finding a shortcut to Asia. Who could blame them? Sailing around the tip of South America was about as much fun as a supernova in a spacesuit factory. So they dreamt of a route through the Arctic, a mythical Northwest Passage that would shave months off their journey. Maps from this era show a persistent, almost stubborn belief in this passage, even when evidence to the contrary began to pile up. It was a classic case of hope triumphing over experience. The allure of a shortcut, a faster way to reach the riches of the East, proved too tempting to resist. The Northwest Passage, much like the elusive Fountain of Youth, remained a cartographic phantom, a testament to human ambition and the enduring power of a good map to fuel our dreams of exploration. Deep in the heart of South America, nestled amongst unexplored jungles and uncharted rivers, lay the legendary Lake Parime. At least, that's what maps told us for centuries. This wasn't just any lake. It was said to be the gateway to El Dorado, the mythical city of gold. Explorers risked life and limb searching for this fabled lake, their imaginations fueled by tales of unimaginable riches and fueled by maps that confidently displayed its existence. But Lake Parime, much like El Dorado itself, proved to be a geographical ghost. It was a phantom born of rumors, wishful thinking, and perhaps a few too many sips of grog. Yet its presence on maps for centuries speaks volumes about the power of belief and the enduring allure of the unknown. Imagine a Christian king, so powerful, so righteous, that his kingdom rivaled any in the East. This wasn't some medieval fairy tale, this was Prester John, a figure whose legend captivated Europe for centuries. His kingdom, a sprawling empire of wealth and piety, was first placed in India, then later in Africa, appearing on maps from the 12th to the 17th centuries. It was a testament to the power of belief, a tangible manifestation of religious yearning projected onto the blank canvas of unexplored lands. Prester John's kingdom became a symbol of hope, a beacon of Christianity in a world perceived as hostile and unknown. While his kingdom ultimately proved to be as fictional as a unicorn riding a dragon, its impact on cartography and exploration is undeniable. Now let's delve into one of the most intriguing and controversial maps in history, the Piri Reis map. This 16th century masterpiece, crafted by an Ottoman admiral, has become a favorite among conspiracy theorists and history buffs alike. Why? Because it allegedly depicts the coast of Antarctica, centuries before its official discovery. The map itself is a marvel, compiled from older sources and showcasing surprisingly accurate representations of coastlines across the globe. But the depiction of a southern landmass resembling Antarctica in its pre-glacial state has sparked endless debate. Is it evidence of an ancient advanced civilization, a misinterpretation of existing geographical knowledge, or simply a cartographic coincidence? The Piri Reis map remains an enigma, a tantalizing puzzle that continues to challenge our understanding of history and cartography. We're wrapping up our journey with a trip to the land of the rising sun, or at least the way it was depicted on some early European maps. Now, you'd think getting the basic shape of an island nation wouldn't be rocket science, even back then. But when it came to Japan, cartographers seemed to take a bit of creative license. Honshu, Japan's largest island, was often reversed, flipped upside down or inflated to comical proportions. It's as if they took a glimpse of Japan, said close enough, and went back to drawing sea monsters. These distortions weren't limited to Japan, of course. Early maps of Asia were notorious for their inaccuracies, reflecting the limited knowledge and reliance on second-hand accounts. It's a reminder that even in the pursuit of accuracy, human error, cultural biases, and a dash of good old-fashioned guesswork could lead to some rather interesting cartographic results. So there you have it, a glimpse into the world of old maps, where fact and fiction danced a merry jig across uncharted territories. These maps weren't just navigational tools, they were reflections of their time, windows into the beliefs, fears, and aspirations of the people who created them. In a world shrouded in mystery, cartographers had to make choices. leave things blank or fill the void with speculation, legend, or even outright fabrication. Their decisions, whether driven by genuine belief, religious dogma, or simple human error, shaped how generations understood the world. So the next time you unfold an old map, take a moment to appreciate the stories it tells. Look beyond the lines and borders, and you'll discover a world shaped by imagination, ambition, and the enduring human quest to chart the unknown.